In exploration 2, we're asked to graph and label each line in the coordinate plane, and if the equation is not in slope-intercept form, we must first convert it. All right, so looking at line A, it is not in slope-intercept form because y is not isolated. So the first thing I'm going to do, if I want to get y by itself, is I'm going to make a zero term out of the 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. That makes a zero term out of the 2x on the left. And I'm left with a negative 5y equals negative 2x minus 20, because both of those were subtraction or negatives. Okay, now to isolate y, I'm going to divide all terms by negative 5. Careful with all these negatives here. Negative 5. That creates a big 1 again, and I'm left with y equals, see, a negative 2 divided by a negative 5 is a 2/5 fraction, and negative 20 divided by negative 5 is positive 4. So now that it's in slope-intercept form, the slope of this line is 2 over 5, and the y-intercept is 0, 4. So now I can graph it. So starting at 0, 4, going up 2, and to the right 5. Up 2, and to the right 5. I've run out of room, so down 2 to the left 5, down 2 to the left 5. And we're clearly going to label this line A. Okay. Line B, also not in slope-intercept form. This line appears to be in point-slope form. So let's start by using the distributive property here. So we still have y minus 3 equals 2/5 times x is just 2/5 x. 2/5 times 10. How do I do that math? Well, let's see. 2/5 times 10. I know that 10 divided by 5 is just 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So that's just going to be a plus 4 there. All right, one more step. We're going to go ahead and add 3 to both sides to make a 0 term on the left side with that negative 3 and positive 3. And we have y equals 2/5 x plus 7. All right, it's in slope-intercept form. Now we can identify the slope and the y-intercept of this line. So the slope here is 2/5, and the y-intercept is at 0, 7. So starting at 0, 7, going up 2, and right 5. Can't keep going, so go down 2 and left 5, down 2 and left 5. Go ahead and graph this line, and voila, they happen to be parallel lines. Cool. So is line A parallel to line B? Well, the graph makes it look like that, definitely. But how else could we tell? Well, let's look at the slopes. The slope of line A is 2/5, and the slope of line B is also 2/5. So how do we know that these lines are parallel? Because they have the same slope. So let's use our geometric notation here. We know that line A is parallel to line B because they have the same slope. All right, we can also use geometric notation to show that those lines are parallel. So if we recall, that means that we're going to draw arrows on both of these lines. So if I draw one arrow on B, and let's draw 2 arrows this time. I'm going to draw 2 arrows on A. That's showing using geometric notation that line A and line B are parallel lines. So now we're asked to graph and label a transversal T that intersects lines A and B. And we get to pick kind of whatever we want here. So since both of these lines are increasing with positive slopes, pretty much if I take any decreasing line, any negative slope, it will end up intersecting. So this time I'm going to start my graph at 0, 2. My y-intercept 0, 2. And let's do a slope of, how about negative 3/4? That one sounds fun, negative 3/4. So starting at 0, 2, going down 3 to the right 4, down 3 to the right 4, 2, 3, 4, and run out of room. So going up 3 and to the left 4, up 3 and to the left 4. Now we could have chosen any slope or any point. It was totally up to us. But what we did choose happened to work here. So we'll include arrows on either side, and since this is a transversal, we're going to label it with T for transversal. All right, so since the slope of this line was negative 3/4 and the y-intercept was 0, 2, write out the equation. y equals negative 3/4 x plus 2. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, we are almost done here. Last thing in this exploration, we are asked to label the interior and exterior angles. Easy peasy. So again, think of those two parallel lines as forming a river, and that transversal is like a bridge. So any angles inside of the river are interior, and any angles outside on the river bank are in the exterior. So we're going to label our interior angles 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay. How about 2, 4, 6, and 8? And then we're labeling our exterior angles 1, 3, 5, and 7. So now let's just go 1, 3, 5, and 7. And exploration 2 is complete.